Hey everyone, as you know, I'm Alessia Ferronato, the CEO of Ferronato, who's living with type 1 diabetes for 20 years. And this month we're doing something a little bit special, and I'm here with Justin from Diabetech. So I'll let you quickly introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me. I'm Justin. I have a brand called Diabetech. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube. I have a podcast, and I focus a lot on diabetes technology, what's available, what's coming, where we've come from, to help people understand the options out there and take full control of their diabetes. And I also talk about my own experiences and just share a lot online so that we can all kind of talk about it and grow from each other.
And when we started talking, you told me about your diagnosis story, that actually the online community helped you being properly diagnosed. So that's just crazy. And I'll ask you to tell us more about it, but just also to let the audience know why we're here is to raise awareness around diabetes, because unfortunately nowadays there's still too many misdiagnoses. Justin has been, I have been. For me it was 20 years ago, but still it's crazy.
3 years ago for me.
Yeah, exactly. So it's crazy to see that we're still here. So yeah, tell me a bit more about your story.
Yeah, so 3 years ago, I was having all of the classic symptoms. I was urinating all the time. I was thirsty all the time. I lost 20 pounds. I looked so unhealthy, not okay. I had mood, I was just moody and generally feeling unwell. And so I went to the doctor and I got blood tests, and my doctor told me I have diabetes. Didn't tell me what type, just said, you have diabetes, gave me a prescription to treat for type 2 diabetes and sent me on my way. Didn't give me any instructions. So of course, at the time I was already a tech YouTuber. So I took to social media. I started making TikToks, sharing with people, oh, my doctor has me taking glucose readings. Here's my reading. Is that high? People were like, yeah, that's high. And then I actually wound up getting a new doctor in the office. He had me start taking long-acting insulin, still with that type 2 diagnosis. And so I was creating videos about that too. And quickly these videos blew up on TikTok, and people were like, no, Justin, you don't have type 1, you don't have type 2, you have type 1, you have type 1.5 or latent autoimmune diabetes of adults. And they were like, you need to go get screened for type 1, which is a simple blood test looking for the autoantibodies. So I did, and they were right. I got my correct diagnosis, and I truly thank the people on TikTok for telling me what to do. And that kind of just inspired me to continue sharing my story, creating content, and eventually it becoming my full-time thing.
Yeah. But for me, it's just crazy that you went to the doctors and he didn't even tell you which type, and you had to ask online, is this high? I mean, this is just so crazy that this still happens. And I think, of course, that's one of your purpose and your mission now as well, is to raise this awareness around the science, around what it means, especially on technology, like you said, that's where we've come from. So a little side story. So I've been diagnosed 20 years ago. So you must imagine that when I grew up with the disease, we didn't have insulin pumps. I was pricking my finger 20 times a day. I was injecting. And actually, since, of course, technology came out, pumps, CGMs, it changed a lot of things. So I think it's great that you're doing that, because there needs also to be education around it, how it can help. And from someone who lived it, it's life-changing. I mean, it's, Yeah,
we still have a lot of work to do with awareness of this disease and how it differs from type 2 diabetes, but also I found that there's also not a lot of awareness of the technology that's available. Doctors aren't telling their patients, here are the 5 insulin pumps you can look at. Which one do you want? They say, this is the pump that we prescribe. And then that's it. So I'm trying to create awareness not only of the disease, which is so important, and there's a lot of room there, but all of the technology out there that people can take advantage of.
Yeah, all the treatments, anything that will help. I mean, even for me, the story is different, but I think we live through similar challenges where I've learned more from online community, online researching than from an actual doctor. And sometimes my doctor tells me, how do you know that? I'm like, well, I just refuse to live, just by what you tell me. It's one opinion, one person that doesn't live with the disease. So you need to go look beyond. And so I think that's an important mission here as well, is to tell people more about these signs, about what you can do, the technology available. But so if I can also quickly bounce back on what you said on, misdiagnosis. So when I was diagnosed, so I was 11 years old, so I was still young, and I was misdiagnosed with the flu. So that's another crazy story as well, because it was wintertime in Switzerland, so where I grew up. And I've been to several doctors actually having symptoms like you mentioned as well. I lost a lot of weight. I was urinating a lot, drinking up to 10 liters of water a day, which is crazy. I also got blurred vision. I mean, all the symptoms. And then they just told my parents, hey, so it's a flu, probably, something, that's coming around in the winter time here. I ended up in a coma at home, and I was saved in the last minutes. They had to transfer me by helicopter to the ICU. This is how bad it got. Wow. So, and I stayed in a coma for 2 days until I woke up, finally. And anyway, so I'm telling this story just because I think it's crazy that I've been there 20 years ago, but that 3 years ago you've been there. And of course, I was 11, I didn't have access to TikTok. Maybe it would have been different if I had at that time. So our whole lives, unfortunately, we need to take external insulin through a pump or through injections. And also another very unfortunate point about type 1 is that it's not curable nowadays.
Yet.
I agree.
There are lots of advancements that research going into it. So I'm hopeful, and if you want to learn more about all of the advancements and research going into it, I report on a lot of that on my channels. Yeah,
I agree 100% with you. I'm very hopeful. I know it's gonna come. Yeah. But this is more of an anecdote. But when I was diagnosed in 2005, the doctor told me, "Don't worry, the cure is around the corner." I'm like, "Where is it?"
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while. Yeah.
But I know it's gonna come for sure. Yeah. But I think that's just an important thing as well for people to understand. And even right now in this scientific and of course in the literature community, they don't even know yet what really triggers it, right? There's not one single factor that can relate to the onset of type 1 diabetes. And often people, and I think that's a very big let's say misconception that I would like to say, is that people tell me, oh, so you ate a lot of sugar. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I've had people that ate so much more sugar than me and didn't get type 1. So it's not linked to that. And that's the misconception linked to type 2, which is more often related to lifestyle habits, right, than type 1. And I think that's an important one as well for people to understand. But I think that's a really good reason why we're here to talk a bit more about this. And also, so one of the other reasons we're here together is because through my brand, I want to support the diabetes community. So we are giving 10% of our global sales, so through our stores, online, to a diabetes charity. Supporting children that need help and access to insulin. And we're also, of course, planning a really cool giveaway together with Justin to also engage and spread the word a little bit more. So just, a few words about this so people know.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I mean, there's obviously so much room for people to spread awareness here. So we thought, why not have a little fun and give away some products from Ferronato with some fun little diabetes treats or treats that are great for people with diabetes, whether they're having a low and they need a pick-me-up or just some like healthy snacks. I got mine back here, but yeah, there's more information on my Instagram. We'll have where everyone can enter, and then on your side, we'll be announcing the winners.
Yes.
So it's a way to give back. Have the proceeds from that are going toward your company go toward a good a good fundraiser, and then spread awareness. I mean, the most important thing here is just remember these signs that we both had. We were peeing all the time. We weren't feeling well. We lost all this weight. It could be diabetes. Get screened. Right? Well, I'm glad that we could educate a little bit. You know, take this information and spread the word, please.
During the month of November, we have a very cool giveaway where Ferronato gives away 5 products. One is a backpack for the grand prize and 4 RFID card holders, all blue because blue is the diabetes color, right? And you can watch out Justin's posts. Keep an eye out, it will come out soon. And we're very excited about this to raise awareness, to get people to recognize the signs, and of course for me as a type 1 diabetic founder to give back to the community. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Justin. It's been so lovely meeting you and speaking with you.
Of course. Thanks for teaming up.
Of course. Thank you.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.